thanks so much for joining us on Up with Krem. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now, we are tracking some breaking news this morning as an early morning shooting sent 2 teenagers to the hospital.
That's right. Krem 2's Malia Kamal has been gathering information at the scene right now. Malia, what have you learned since we last checked in with you?
Good morning, Tim and Channing. Yes, I just spoke to a neighbor who tells me that this is a popular place for teens to hang out. Now, here's what we know according to Spokane police. Around 12:45 a.m., they were dispatched to the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex. Apparently, a large fight broke out here, leading to the shooting that injured 2 juvenile males ages 15 and 16. Officers provided aid until Spokane Fire Department and the AMR were able to take over. The individuals were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, SPD says this is still under investigation. It's in the preliminary stages, and right now they have not released any names of any suspect or suspects. This is still a developing story, and of course we will give you all the details as we learn them. Live in Spokane, Malia Kamal, Krem 2 News.
You can stay up to date on this story on krem.com and inside the Krem 2 app, and we'll check in with Malia throughout the morning.
All right, now let's send things over to Nicole Hernandez. She's filling in for meteorologist Thomas Patrick all week long here on Up with Krem. So Nicole, yesterday was a really nice day across the inland Northwest, but what does Wednesday have in store for us?
It was a nice day, and honestly today's still going to be nice. It's just going to be a little bit cooler. We're seeing that this morning as well. We are at 53 degrees here in the Spokane area, about 11 degrees colder than we were yesterday morning at this time, and we're really seeing that across our entire region. 50s across everywhere. Wenatchee's at 58, Moses Lake's at 57, Spokane again at 53, Coeur d'Alene at 56, and Sandpoint at 55. Now, one thing we were talking a lot about yesterday is winds. So take a look. We are still seeing some residual wind gusts that in breezy weather as we are getting into our Wednesday. That should calm down though as we get further away from the cold front that moved in yesterday. You can see it much calmer already than we were seeing yesterday afternoon. Now, our radar looks completely clear for now, but we are tracking a few isolated thunderstorms that could hit the northern parts of our region. You can see those kind of move through there, just really small blips on the radar, I guess, technically, that we're going to bring just some potential downpours and lightning and even potential hail to those areas. Not widespread, though, really not going to hit the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. Here in Spokane, hour by hour, we are going to reach 60 degrees by 8 a.m., hitting 70s. Oh, it switched around. Hitting 70s by that noon-ish to 1 o'clock hour, and then reaching that 75, 76 point by this afternoon, and that's where we're going to top out for the day.
All right, we have an update on the fire happening in Moses Lake. We're told that this morning evacuation orders are lifted at this hour. We'll continue to follow this, of course, throughout the morning, but we can tell you that this happened near the Soap Lake area and that we're told that level 3 evacuations were in place yesterday, but again, that is lifted. But there were some situations where the wind caused a tricky situation for firefighters, and it even caused one rollover where firefighters were injured and brought to a hospital. Take a listen to what fire officials had to say about the fire yesterday.
We had moisture, we had rain, everything in Grant County. That doesn't stop fires. That only creates more fuel and makes the fuel go taller. So we have really tall fuel, we had hot temperatures, and we had wind. And it just made everything that much worse to try to get this fire under control.
Well, again, at this hour, evacuation orders are lifted this morning, and the firefighters that were injured in that rollover crash are expected to be okay.
Now, there were 3 other wildfires also in Grant County. The biggest of those was the Quincy fire that burned about 300 acres and forced several level 3 evacuations there. Now, at the same time, the Grand Coulee Fire Department had to evacuate about 25 patients from the local hospital due to a gas leak. Patients at the Coulee Medical Center were taken to other nearby hospitals. We're told appointments for the rest of the week will be canceled and rescheduled. If you have questions about a patient who was receiving treatment at the center, you can call 509-978-9049.
Now to an update this morning. Newly uncovered public records from the city of Coeur d'Alene show that they knew of the white nationalist hate group Patriot Front in the community for at least 1 year.
So police arrested 31 members of that group 2 weeks ago in the back of a U-Haul. Police believe that the men plan to start a potentially violent riot at a pride celebration in Coeur d'Alene. A nonprofit called Property of People released more than 1,200 pages of public records yesterday. The first report mentioning the hate group dates back to May of 2021. According to public records, North Idaho College staff started noticing stickers and vandalism referencing the hate group on campus. Staff then reported it to the police. Those reports continued through summer of last year.
The records indicate the city and police were aware of the hate group trying to establish a presence in Coeur d'Alene. The Kootenai County Task Force on Human Relations says there has been a rise in hate group discussions online, but neither the task force nor the police knew about the group's plan to riot during the Pride celebration.
Certainly there was comments on racism as well. And we also saw a growing tendency to attack public education.
Well, the task force recently held a meeting with local leaders trying to rally the community against hate groups. It led to a new campaign called Coeur d'Alene Rejects Hate. The task force plans to put that message on T-shirts and in the windows of local businesses.
Now we're also learning more about the cost of the increased police response on the day of those arrests. The city of Coeur d'Alene spent more than $30,000 to ramp up its presence because of the Pride in the Park rally and Patriot Riders event planned for that day. Now the city is considering raising its special event fees, saying that the current fees are just too low for what these events demand. They'll be discussing this potential increase at a meeting on July 19th.
It is time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. The Spokane Valley Performing Arts Center will soon have a new home. The center purchased 5 acres of land next to the Hilton Hotel to build its new facility. Construction starts in August and is set to open in 2024. Chet Holmgren, Gonzaga alum, was nominated for an ESPY Award. Holmgren is up for the Best College Athlete in the men's sports category. The award is, and the winner is chosen by a public vote, and the award ceremony is on July 20th. Holmgren was also recently selected as the #2 overall draft pick in the NBA. Well, a round of applause. Last week, the Spokane County Clerk was presented with the Clerk of the Year Award by the Washington State Association of County Clerks. Tim Fitzgerald has served as the Spokane County Clerk since 2014. He was given the award for his willingness to assist beyond the call of duty. A local dance studio, Dance Motions, will perform at Disneyland this summer. They competed against hundreds of teams to get this position. One parent says they were chosen to open up the park because of their matching ears and their overall good spirit. And that's a look at your morning rush. The Biden administration is laying out plans to protect women's access to abortion services after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
The Health and Human Services Secretary says his department has been planning for the High Court's decision for some time. Yesterday, he unveiled an action plan which includes increasing access to abortion medication and ensuring privacy for both patients and providers. The secretary says all options are on the table, but he declined to give specifics on how the Biden administration will implement this plan.
We can't tell you there's a silver bullet. It takes a little time because we want to do it right and we want to do it according to the law.
Meanwhile, a new legal battle is already underway in states across the country. Most in the 13 states with laws in place that automatically ban abortion. State court judges in Utah, Louisiana, and Texas have temporarily blocked enforcement of their trigger laws. Meanwhile, a new side effect from the Roe v. Wade decision, emergency contraceptives are in high demand. Major retailers, including Amazon, are now limiting how much a person can buy. Planned Parenthood of Washington says they've seen an increase in demand. Some doctors say they're not surprised.
Emergency contraception works by delaying ovulation, and so it would not have an impact on a pregnancy. So while it gets conflated with abortion, it's actually pre-planning.
Another form of emergency contraception is Ella. Dr. Arnold says this medication is not experiencing the same supply issues, but it is only available by prescription.